Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike the intern, Ned Reynolds, in the studio, halfway point of the week. So, obviously I don't have a dog in this fight at all, but being a baseball fan and really loving this part of the year, it's really fun to watch the way teams approach these series. And if you look at how the Dodgers approached these first four games, it's literally like back them into a corner, slam, slam, slam. And last night, putting Ohtani out on the hill, it looked like they could possibly pull that off. Blue Jays said, nada.
It was, I think your perception's right, and I think mine is partially right as well. Dodgers looked flat. They looked like they were with Ohtani out there. Hey, he's Superman. We're going to go a long way. Well, he's not Superman. He's a human being. And while his pitching performance was all right last night, he struck out 6 in 6 innings. He also gave up 4 runs, and indeed, I think that was probably the big difference. The Blue Jays won it by a score of 6-2 and even up the series at 2 games apiece, which sets the stage for tonight's pivotal Game 5. The winner of this one takes the lead and only needs one more win to get it done. And as Ohtani goes, so go the Dodgers. And the Dodgers only had 6 hits all right, and that's credit to Shane Bieber. He pitched very well, along with the 3 other Toronto relievers. And, of course, you have Vlad Guerrero Jr. in there, who's just a monster at the bat. He had a couple of hits and a couple of RBIs. Addison Barker had a couple of hits. And this team just played. They played as though they needed to win, and they did. They couldn't go down 3-1 to the Dodgers and expect to come home and sweep the series and all that sort of thing. It just wasn't going to happen. So 6-2, Toronto gets the win, and as Ohtani goes, and Ohtani will play again tonight when they take the field at Dodger Stadium, then you watch what the Dodgers do. I suspect they'll come back and play a very aggressive level of baseball tonight. That's just the way the nature of the game is. It's not really like football where you build on momentum and you've had a big play and so forth. Baseball's a game of length. And if you're able to sustain consistency, you're going to win.
And I think we're both right here, too. One thing we didn't mention is the fact that the game that they played before this one ended on the same day. It just ended, what was it, sometime after midnight for them. So by the time they got back to their houses or hotels or wherever the hell they sleep, they probably didn't get a whole lot of sleep. And that I think is why, what you said in the beginning, the Dodgers looked a little flat last night. We'll see what happens in Game 5. Really, really good series so far. We call it the beauty contest, the NFL Power Rankings. Your thoughts, sir?
Well, the Chiefs are number 1. Kansas City has achieved the number 1 spot in the power rankings, and again, it's because of the consistency. They do have more losses than, we'll say, Buffalo and things like that, but by the same token, Kansas City earns the media's choice and the NFL's choice as being the number 1 team, followed by the Packers, the Rams, the Colts, and the Lions. They are the top 5. I look at that and I say, well, what do you judge this on? And it's judged by the level of play that you've had, the consistent level of play that you've had, and Philadelphia Eagles are number 8 because they had a couple of downers there, even though they have the same number of losses as Kansas City, and even though they are the champions. So it's a different perception as put forth by the media and by the league, and Kansas City gets that number 1 pick. The Chiefs are a 2.5-point dog to the Buffalo Bills on Sunday, but I don't believe it.
We'll see. Again, we call it a beauty contest for a reason. We never talked about this. I don't know if it got on your radar, but a couple weeks ago, J.J. Watt was on a podcast and talking about how he had Uber drivers telling him that they were voters of Pro Football Focus, and he was like, it doesn't mean anything. Like, we got these guys that are driving Uber rides, and they're the ones grading my performance on the field. Like, do they know how to read film? Do they know why I did that move at that point? So, I definitely see where J.J. Watt's coming from.
Well, Mike, you might remember that last year we pointed out when we did these football rankings, the National Football League rating system, it's bogus, and it doesn't mean a blasted thing. It's how you do on the field. Same with the baseball rankings, same with any rankings. You prove it on the field.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's when it's done and how it's done. Unfortunately for us, St. Louis Blues haven't been proving it on the ice very much recently.
Last night was what they call the frozen frenzy that the National Hockey League has put together, and that's a night on which every team plays. Well, wait a minute. What about the teams that played the night before? Too bad. And the Blues did play the night before, the Pittsburgh Penguins. Well, they had to come home last night and play the Detroit Red Wings. Red Wings are pretty good. They beat the Blues in Detroit last week, and they beat the Blues again in St. Louis 5-2 last night. So, yeah, St. Louis is off to a slow start on the season, but, Mike, it's a long, long, long way to go.
If you were watching the game on Monday night, after a certain run, Pacheco went down a little awkwardly, kind of limped off the field, and they followed him over to a training table. And I thought it was interesting. The trainer kind of sat there, messed with his knee again, and it looked like he popped, like pulled it and popped it. Isaiah jumped up, jumped around, kind of run. He's like, good, ran back on the field. And I was like, I guess that's that. Well, no, that's not that.
No, it's an ACL strain, apparently, is what he has, and he is what's described as week to week. Now, that could mean he'll miss a couple of games, or it might mean he could be right back in there. A lot of it depends on how Pacheco feels. Pacheco is really the key running back, but is he the key to the offense? Well, the rushing game, yes, but the total offense, no. He's not a go-to man in Mahomes' receiving core by any stretch, but he is the key running back, and he runs so doggone hard. That's the beauty of Isaiah Pacheco. Anyway, ACL strain, he's a week to week, and we'll see if he's available for the Buffalo Bills this week. Now, Nick Bolton also had some knee problems in that game, and he is not listed in any particular category by Kansas City, and he has to by Thursday, by tomorrow, because that's the NFL rule that you do have to list your injured players. But Bolton is bothered by a knee injury, but he's a tough guy and a hard tackler, a terrific linebacker. We'll see how things work out, and I think probably it'll be for the best.
Bolton is just made out of something completely different. He got hurt too, and you could see he was in a severe pain, but would not come out of that game. I love that guy so much. Not the biggest Mizzou Tiger fan, but man, I am so thankful that guy is a Kansas City Chief. Speaking of football, we got some midweek football here in Springfield tonight. You're going to be putting on your galoshes and your little Paddington Bear rain jacket?
Well, no, I'm going to wear my Navy weather jacket that I have, and it's really good. It's got a hood on it, and it's very heavy, and it's well padded because the temperature's going down to the high 30s tonight. Okay, that's fine. That's the way it is. It's football in October. The Bears do kick it off tonight around 7 o'clock at the Plaster Sports Complex. They're playing Florida International. That's not good news for Florida. Those kids are coming up here from Miami, and that's where Florida International is, and going to experience this cold weather. That you don't get used to that unless you're part of it. Anyway, it kicks off at 7. It's very rare. There's never been a Wednesday night game on national television before, but the Bears will be there tonight, and yeah, I'll be over there to watch at least some of it tonight and see what happens. Bears are about a 3.5-point favorite, and the over-under is 50.5. The Bears should, if everything works right, beat this Florida International team.
So what do you guys do for the tailgating? I know you all getting together.
No, I don't think there's going to be at least my tailgate. There won't be any tonight. The next time we have a tailgate will be homecoming.
You know what you need to do is just hire a shuttle. You guys just meet at the bar, shuttle you over to the game.
That's not a bad idea.
You're welcome. We got basketball starting to heat up for colleges across the country. That includes your Missouri State Lady Bears. Their first exhibition game was last night. How'd they do?
They won. Lady Bears beat Northeastern Oklahoma State out of Tahlequah 75-57. They did it with the second period. Ladies basketball, women's basketball is in a period time, like first, second, third, fourth quarters. Men play 20-minute halves. There's no difference in the timing. It's just a different way of splitting up the game. I really think in time the men will go back to quarter basketball, but they aren't right now. Anyway, Lady Bears outscored the opposition 25-10 in the second period, and that was decisive. Faith Lee, a newcomer, had 17. Lainey Douglas had 15 points for the Lady Bears in their scoring. The season opens for the Lady Bears next Monday night. They'll play a Monday night game at the, about to call it JQH, but it's the Great Southern Bank Arena. And the Lady Bears will be playing St. Louis University in the opener. That'll be next Monday night. That's when they open. The Bears have an exhibition game. This is the men's team on Friday night. Gonzo Martin will put his team on the court against Maryville University out of St. Louis, and then they open the series next week, next week as well. So, yep, it is right here, ready to go.
You are busy as a busy can get. Your dance card is full, sir. You have a good day, and I'll see you tomorrow.